When I was 12, my grandfather told me something. He told me that my teen years would be the best times of my life, and that I should cherish them and enjoy the easiness of simply being a kid. I thought very little of what he said, the meaning of it all slipping through my naive and unscathed mind. His wisdom meant very little to me then. I was a boy who was happy, a boy who spent more time thinking about writing stories for his friends rather than the inevitable fate of growing up, a boy who worried more about things like being late to rugby practice rather than the immense weight of life and trying to be successful, a boy who spent his nights sleeping instead of lying awake at the terrified thought of doing nothing meaningful with his life. As I've grown older, thinking more, worrying more and sleeping less, my grandfather's words have become more and more prevalent in my mind. More and more I found myself thinking about what he said. I considered the meaning of what he meant, the meaning that the 12-year-old me could never understand. A fear has grown in my mind, a fear that I'd never experienced before. What if he was right? What if...
Did you hear the Eagles traded for that Henry guy?
Sorry?
The Eagles traded for the Titans running back, the one you were on about the other day.
Oh, Derrick Henry.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's funny. Never thought they'd actually get him.
The Eagles are looking good already. Didn't you say they also had a good draft class?
Yeah, do you know what they gave up to get him? Dad, what did the Eagles give up for Henry?
I only saw the announcement saying they'd made the trade. No idea what they gave up to get him. What's the name of the Eagles GM again?
Oh, Harry Roseman.
Yes, that's it. Hey, I've got a call now with Andy. He's been in Turkey again. Oh, Noah, Mum said to do your uni stuff later.
University. How and when did I get here? It was only yesterday that I remember applying for my A-levels. The day before that, starting my GCSEs. One day you're chasing one goal, and the next, an entirely new one appears. Time just moves too quickly for me. I found that the older I've become, the more aware I've become of the speed at which time moves, the way in which it passes by unnoticed, like a stranger on a busy street, the way in which our childhoods slowly slip away. I hate growing up. I think everyone does. Life just seemed to move so much slower when I was a child. Time meant less to me then. Time was just the clock in the classroom, the signal to break time, or the kitchen timer alerting me to dinner. When we were young, time was just that annoying thing that our parents used to limit our fun. I find that time often takes me back at night. It takes me back to that kid who knew nothing of what his life would go on to be, nothing of the people he'd meet, or the places that he would go. Sometimes I wish I could go back. I wish that I could go back and sit with my younger self and talk. I wish that I could warn him of the struggles that he'd face at times. I wish I could warn him of the dangers of growing up, the perilous journey that would face his young, naive mind and heart. If we did by chance ever meet, I like to think that he'd know, that he'd see himself, a much less innocent, somewhat tarnished, much older looking version of himself, yes, but I like to think he'd recognise the same misunderstood, somewhat lost, anxious, overthinking kid, no matter the change before his eyes. Maybe he'd be sad to see that his flaws never really left him, that he never really got better, but I hope that maybe he'd be able to see too that those flaws made him who he'd become. Those flaws helped him to gain a greater understanding of both himself and the world around him. Those flaws and his later acceptance of them would shape and mould his dreams and his desire to escape, and above all, to help others escape. I can remember sometimes as a child getting frustrated with time, wishing to myself that it would speed up. I can remember thinking to myself that I just couldn't wait to grow up. Fuck. How stupid and naive I was. I knew nothing of the world of my parents. I knew very little of the world beyond the classroom. My bedroom, video games, sports and stories. The love of my friends and my parents. I was different then. I was a lot happier, I think. Maybe a little more laid back too. I had less to worry about, less to think about. The future was still on the horizon then. I was still riding towards it, unaware of the fact that soon I'd be face to face with it.
Hey Noah, how are you? Just got back from a swim.
Oh right, I'm okay thanks. How was the swim? You weren't gone that long.
Well, the swim wasn't as good as usual because there was this woman in my lane doing ruddy breaststroke. I mean, I know we've got to share the lanes, but she was just so slow. It just really held me up today.
Oh, that's rubbish. Did you get usual 100 lengths in? I assume you did.
No, I didn't today. I only got 75 lengths in. It was rubbish. I swam for 45 minutes and then just thought, do you know what? I give up. It's just too busy in here. So, yeah, only got 75 lengths in.
Oh well. Hopefully next time there'll be less people, or certainly less slow people.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it's fine. Anyway, I'm going to head home now with Nana and Papa to take them out for coffee. Just wondered whether you wanted to come with us. I'll buy you a coffee.
I probably won't come today. Sorry. It's just currently I've got quite a lot of stuff to do and I still need to do my uni finance and whatever. So I probably won't join you today, but thank you for the offer there.
Oh yeah, good point. I forgot you've got to get on with that. Well, if you need any help, I'm sure Dad will be more than happy to help you figure that out.
Yeah, I will. It's just obviously a bit of a pain considering there's so much to do, but it's fine.
I know. Well, that is one of the joys of growing up, isn't it? You've got to do all these fiddly boring things, but hey, get it done and then it's out the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to go and get ready. I should be about 20 minutes and I'm going to head off. So if you do fancy coming with us, just give me a shout. Okay.
Enjoy. Responsibility. Honestly, I've got a bit of a strained relationship with it. I both love it and hate it. I love the freedom and power it gives me. I hate the fact that it reminds me that I'm only getting older, and that eventually I'll be helping my parents rather than them helping me. I hate the fact that I know one day my parents will be gone, their comforting presence in my life removed. Even if I'm half the world away, the thought of them still being here warms me. I fear the day I'll think to myself about them and realise that they're gone. I know I'll never truly be alone in this life, yet still the feeling of the people who love you most not being around terrifies me. But maybe that's just the child in me. Maybe I'll never know. I suppose what I'm trying to say is that it's okay that I'm lost. It's okay that I'm afraid. It's okay that I'm misunderstood. I've accepted the part of the struggle of trying to make this all work. It's getting lost and as a result trying to find your way out. I've accepted that fear is in a way a wonderful thing. A powerful constant at the back of your mind that keeps you going. I've accepted that being misunderstood only allows my meaning to become more complex and beautiful. I always knew I'd get to this point. I always knew I'd be terrified. I always kind of guessed it would be tougher than anything I'd faced before, yet I always knew that no matter the struggle and suffering that I felt, I'd always somehow wade my way through. I know the future won't be kind, it never is, yet I know I have to try, for my parents, my friends, myself, to try for the 11-year-old me who enjoyed the mere joy of storytelling, or the 15-year-old me who learnt the struggle, or the 18-year-old me who wants nothing more than to do something he considers great in his life. I've always been my harshest critic. I've always been my greatest judge and foe. and I always will be. Yet I've always been my greatest supporter, my greatest ally, and while it may sound mad, my greatest and most loyal friend. I'll always be that kid at heart, no matter how much time goes by. I just hope my mentality, dedication and will never let me down. For the sake of my younger self, I hope I'll think back to moments like this and think how badly I struggled, yet continued to grit forward, never truly beating my own spirit to pieces. I hope I'll always strive forward, searching for meaning and looking for someone to tell my stories to. I hope that while my body may grow old and weary, my heart and mind will stay forever on the path that the younger me set, no matter where that path leads. After all, I trust myself over anyone, for I know that for all the time gone by, the younger me will forever drive my soul forwards, towards the dream that he made.